Capricorn, are you ready to step outside of your current comfort zone? Go with the flow. There is no better achievement than proving your enemies wrong. Let's do it. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. So, my Capricorn friends and friends of Capricorn alike, it's good to see you guys again here for another round. Come on in. I do have some messages that came through in meditation, as well as some oracle cards that were pulled, and then we'll get into the tarot as we do. So, Capricorn, the first thing that came through was a diamond in the rough. So I went down a couple paths with this information. Instantly thought of Aladdin, of course, the Disney movie. Aladdin, diamond in the rough. Something that is unexpected or that is holding value that isn't currently a part of the general awareness. And this feels like your awareness, a value or preciousness that you possess, either that you are aware of and are just not giving the honor and respect it deserves, or there is not an awareness. The next thing that came through was actually party favors, like those little poppers that explode streamers and that sort of thing. I feel like there's a practice of covering something up with the behavior of entertainment, okay? So the next thing that came through, and this I felt was very interesting. I've never heard this word before. And the way that I wrote it down, I'm like, shiliate? What is shili? What is this? It's Kiliism. Kiliasm. I feel like I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I looked it up, but this is a new word for me. I've never had it come through before. Apparently, this is the term that we attach to Jesus coming back and providing 1,000 years of peace. Okay, 1,000 years of peace. This is what really came through for me on this. Kiliasm. Shaleism is what I was like. Shaleism? What is this? Kiliasm. Anyway, you can look it up for the pronunciation. I've never heard the word before. 1,000 years of peace is what's coming through. So the next thing that came through was this ain't your rodeo, Capricorn. So why are you here? Back to the party favors here and your value. It's almost as if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're consciously being diminishing towards your own value, or others are doing this and you're just feeling like you can't break away. Either way, you're in a place that isn't matching your frequency is kind of what I'm getting. The next thing that came through was to let your senses excite you. No more dulling, true ecstasy. True ecstasy happens through a chemical reaction of our own, not through exterior chemicals. So this could be, you could be somebody who is leaning on substances or behaviors that do produce chemicals inside of us as well to help bring something that feels good in the form of ecstasy. This message is leading towards getting, like, extricating yourself from a specific situation or general energy so that you can experience true ecstasy, so that we can experience this 1,000 years of peace. Okay, so let's move forward here. Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck is what I felt called to work with here, so I did. The first one that came through is the Drowned King. The Drowned King. This is about collapse of the ego, losing face, or humility. This is where going with the flow is coming through here for me. The king is somebody who prevents tyranny, as the book says, and redistributes power. I find this cheeky at the very minimum, especially with what's going on here in the not so United States of America, where we don't have kings, right? Just an interesting little bit, especially with that Kiliism coming through too of 1,000 years of peace. I know things are crunchy right now, more than crunchy. And I'm here too, you guys, especially those that are here in the States as well. I know things are fucked, and I know you know too. We're not going anywhere though, and peace is on its way. So let's get into this further. Ego collapse of some sort though, and gosh, I would love to see egos collapse. But on a personal level here, I don't feel like it's a total, we're looking more at humility, allowing what is meant to come through, going with the flow, like I said. So the next one that came through is conjunction. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? So conjunction here, this is divine union, love, and infinity. To infinity and beyond. Through the opposites arises the infinite. In holding the tension between these two opposites, we're able to, or we're allowing both of these entities to thrive and to express themselves. These entities are the light and dark within us all, within the collective as well. There has been an experience and an attitude of warring for a very long time. Very long time. I know that a lot of things have been hidden under the surface for quite some time, and we're living in an age of information. So we're a bit more aware, or can be, for those of us that are willing to be, of what's going on. I feel like the warring energy, war is over if you want it. I do love that song. War is over if you want it. It's a Christmas song, I think. So this is Christmas. Yeah. And what have you done? That's right. What have you done? What have we done? Being ruled by Saturn here, Capricorn, I am feeling a deep Saturnian influence in this reading in the way of lessons and karma, even through pain. Let's move forward here, okay? I was called to use the Citadel deck here next. You guys get the Adventurer, responsibility, and expectations. So, stepping out of our safety zone here, if we're ready for this, this is where there's no greater achievement than proving our naysayers or enemies wrong. And this isn't out of spite. Whatever it is we're doing to move towards peace, towards success, we're doing for ourselves first. But it's totally fine, I feel, to also know that maybe it sticks in someone's craw just a little bit extra, that we're finding success or peace, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as it's not taken to a vindictive degree, especially as we're talking about dissolving the ego here too, or having humility. It's okay to use that energy as a balm to your own soul. I wouldn't use it as something to brag about around you, or to intentionally poke somebody either. They're already disgusting people, right? They're already miserable. So no worries. They don't need your help. Not in that way anyway. All right, let's move forward here into, where did you want to go here? Oh, this one. That's right. This is a new deck I got, the Love and Light mantra cards. So for Capricorn here, please, in this message, we can further this along, please. No, both? Yes? Okay. Okay. Make curiosity your nature. Number 27. I am a curious being who desires to dive deeply into uncertainty and vulnerability. Perfect. C'est parfait. Bliss in presence. Number 4. My happiness is found in the present moment, and I realize that this is all that exists. That came through, or this was in the book here too, with conjunction. Well, and the drowned king. We're being pulled into the present moment. This is where we're finding true ecstasy too. If we're existing in any other moment or trying to, then we have a tendency to feel like we need to escape that because it doesn't actually exist. And there is a lot of pressure in the past or in the future. Okay. Well, let's move forward then. Which tarot decks here? Curious Travels? Yep. All right. We'll get into tarot here, you guys. So Curious Travels here for your first deck. I'll move things around here. I'm still getting used to the placement. So thanks for your patience. For Capricorn, what do we have for Capricorn at this time, please? 10 of Swords and 8 of Wands fall through. I'm not going to include this in the reading yet, but since we're talking about it, a very quick, so we're talking about extricating ourselves from a situation, it's pulling ourselves out of a painful place. Exactly what's happening here. The 8 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords, absolute rock bottom, painful loss. Stabbing the back as well, potentially. 8 of Wands here is a quick moving energy. They're running up the stairs. Get the hell away from this Ten of Swords. There's nothing else to do with the Ten of Swords but to get the hell out of there. An opportunity to ascend or heal ourselves in that way too. Okay, so let's look at your hopes and dreams to start, Capricorn. Hopes and dreams. Six of Cups here at the bottom is standing out to me. Love. Love. Whether this is romantic love that's available or not, I did just do Sagittarius, and we talked about the high heart. The difference between the high heart and the heart chakra. Heart is personal love and empathy. The high heart is unconditional love and universal love. I feel like, well, we'll see what comes through here as far as love goes. The Hierophant here at the bottom. This is your hope, hopes and dreams. So you guys are hoping for a bit of spiritual enlightenment or ascension. You're tired of this bullshit. You'd like for there to be 1,000 years of peace here. I feel like there is a need to break some sort of structure here. But this is, that is a weird energy. What is that? A taproot. Okay. I feel like this is collectively Capricorn. I just feel like well, we are in a Saturn transit collectively right now too. So we're learning. We're learning some deep lessons. You're hoping, back to extricating there, you're hoping to pull this up. Okay, let's move forward here. What other deck here, please? Murder of Crows, okay? Okay. So, for Capricorn, please, we'll look at your fear aversion next. Hey, there's the Hierophant there again at the split. Interesting. Being a lesser energy here at the split, I feel like there is fear towards pulling this taproot up. The way that things have been, the way that we've done things. I was just listening to something recently too. Oh, it was about, that's right, how the patriarchy was created. It was very interesting, but they were talking about this behavior phenomenon we experience as humans only have a certain amount of life expectancy. One group of people may decide to make some sort of change. Like the example they were giving was whether it's male, female, short people, tall people, whatever. This group of people decides people have areas where they have more skills and where they have less skills, depending on who they are. In the next generation, that gets added to. And a couple generations down the line, we may find something like women need to do this, men need to do this. You see what I'm saying? And we've lost the initial or original intention of the first rule that was made. This is just what it means to be human. So this was a part of the explanation of patriarchy, especially. I feel like this is what, this is the structure. Like you're feeling this. Saturn is making us feel this. But it's scary. It's scary. Okay, so for Capricorn here, please. Get your fear aversion next. 5 of Cups. So being in your fear aversion here, I feel like you guys, what I'm getting is complaining. Like there's a concern over complaining. Maybe you feel like nobody's listening. In this deck in particular, this individual is screaming to their group of crows. They're lamenting their sorrows, their pain, because it needs to be removed from their experience. It's not their poison to hold, and it is poison. I feel like there's a concern over speaking your truth in some way. Okay. General. The Star. Hey, cool. So the Star, to start, fortune after difficulty, renewed hope. Guidance is something that I get from this as well. And alignment. Back to diamond in the rough here. You are a star. Okay. What I'm seeing when I first in meditation was seeing this, the diamond in the rough, it was like a natural raw diamond. When we're talking about like properties of stones, crystals, that sort of thing, raw form is always going to be the most potent. A cut diamond has specific purposes, and it's also, you know, it could be prettier for sure. I feel like there's something about our structure, where we want to move from and move to, that involves bringing a component of ourselves forward that's very powerful, but it may not be pretty, which is Saturn, really. Saturn isn't pretty until we receive the reward for learning what it is that the great teacher is working to teach us. Something about your perfection. What else here, please, in the general? The moon. Yeah, we're talking about fear. I feel like you guys, with the lamenting, the perfection here, and the fear, you're being called to expose. Interesting. To expose yourself. Not physically, okay? Not literally here. To whom? To yourself first. Okay, there's something, you're the filter. There's something here that you need to accept about the way that you operate or the way that you function, who you are, what you are, that may not be palatable to other people, but who gives a shit? Or who should? I know that's easier said than done, but lest they pay no bills, okay? Pay them bitches no mind, as RuPaul likes to say or says. I like that energy with the star and the moon too. Where's the sun? It's coming. A conversation in the dark. What does that mean? There are parts of yourself that are communicating. Ooh, interesting. Like subliminal communication or subconscious communication. You may be following this without questioning it, like taking orders. Ooh, I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. Let's pull an animal card here too for the general for Capricorn, please. The crow. Scorpion here too. I feel like we're being asked to move away from isolation. The crow here. This is magical sight, the sight of the shaman. Ah, okay. It is time. It's time, Capricorn, for you to start sharing what it is that you have discovered and what you've learned here in isolation. We do need to pull away from the group sometimes when we're dealing with our own realm. We all have truth to contribute to this experience here. And it feels like you are getting very clear, or you will soon, on what that truth is. Awesome. Okay. I need a drink. 1 second. This is vodka, not water. I'm just kidding. It's tequila. I'm just kidding. Okay. Let's look at your good stuff. Good stuff right now for Capricorn. Dang, the Empress. So healing, nurturing kind of energy. This is a divine counterpart as well. We were talking about love. Receptivity. These stars, though, are standing out to me too. So the stars that are over her eyes here, they symbolize the zodiac, the 12 signs of the zodiac here in Western astrology, anyway. I feel like there is, as we're talking about breaking the structure too, there's something to be gleaned or pulled from every bit of experience that you've had. Every life, like this is a culminating point. And I mean, depending on what we're talking about with 1,000 years of peace, this does feel more symbolic rather than literal. But who knows? There's truth that you've experienced in many different areas that you're being asked to share at this time. Okay. Knight of Wands comes in here too. I feel for someone here, whatever the creation is, whether this is a human child, art, music, dancing, some sort of creative explosion is what I'm getting. This is okay. This is the way that we're bringing truth into this realm here, is through expression, is through creation. Get up and try again here. Don't be afraid to try again. I feel like there's been a time where you've worked to express this bit of magic or truth that you possess, and it was not received well at all. I'm drawn back to the party favors here. This is why maybe you adopted this behavior of putting on a face, being the hostess with the mostess, so to speak. You're being asked to tap back more into your wild side, I feel. Okay. What else here, please, in the good stuff for Capricorn? The moth. That flame. A moth drawn to a flame. A moth is drawn to a light. A flame actually confuses them. 2112 on the timer as well. Yeah, what is this flame represent? Like something that you've approached before in the past did provide a great amount of confusion and disillusionment. Maybe even to the point of experiencing something dangerous or painful, like a bug zapper kind of thing. What I'm getting here with the stars in front of the Empress's face, you are at a point, with the crow, magical sight. You're at a point where you've got some special shades here, where that flame is no longer causing confusion. You can see through the confusion. You can see clearly. You can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Yes. Okay, what anything else here on this, please? Advice and the good stuff. Embrace, find peace with your current state of being. And pay attention, look out for signs from the divine, acknowledge red flags. I feel like, especially with the Empress, there's a birth that's happening. You guys are being reborn, okay? You're at 2222 on the timer too. You're at a point here in the birth canal, though, where it's very uncomfortable. You're being asked here to relax, go with the flow. That came through with the drowned king. There's already a directive. There's already a direction here, a destination that you're heading. Allow yourself to head there. This is not a trick. Ow, I love that. This is not a trick, okay? You are seeing clearly. You can see all obstacles in your way. All right, what you don't see coming, what is in the shadow here? 8 of Cups. I do feel like there's something we're leaving behind here in the form of a person, place, thing, vegetable, animal, mineral. This feels like more of a pursuit. I'm drawn back to this ain't your rodeo. What are you doing here? Whatever that is, like a club, a community, homeowners association, friends. It could be anything where you're working. What I feel is like you became a part of this experience or community as a way to feel like you belong. That's why we join any community, really. We're looking for a sense of belonging. When you join this community, though, you were not seeing clearly. You could not see all obstacles in your way. But now you can. So, okay, something is coming up here that is showing you very clearly what isn't working, where you would do best to move away from. And I don't feel like this is something that makes you happy, but it's truth nonetheless. What else here, please, and what we don't see coming? The 4 of Swords. Yes, a rest or an ending to something. Healing coming when we do walk away from something. What I'm seeing is like a poison dart. Like the poison leaves when we remove the poison. Yeah. This was administered, though, as something that was touted as being beneficial or helpful. Interesting. I don't know if this is literal. Like, I know there's a huge wave of things like using plant medicine, ayahuasca, that tree frog poison. I mean, they put that on darts too. Not a huge fan of something like that, I'll be honest, because it is injuring a living animal. In that vein, you guys, I do encourage you to be cautious too. Please listen to yourself. Just because everybody's jumping off of a bridge doesn't mean that your nervous system needs to jump off of a bridge too. And just because something is natural or born of the earth does not mean that it's beneficial to us either. I'm not saying that it's not beneficial to some, but there is no panacea. And if there is anybody who's touting that that exists, I would be very, very cautious of them. We live in a world where everybody's looking to make money. Companies and groups of people, including spiritual people, work to sell you what you want to buy. Please just be aware of this, okay? You're already receiving truth. Please listen to that, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not dissuading you or encouraging you to do anything in that realm except for to be present with your own truth and be intelligent. You know what is best for you, not somebody else. Okay? Okay. All right. What else here, please, in the shadow for Capricorn that we don't see coming? Oh, my goodness. Octopus. So, boundaries. This is, and to be honest with you, I got a bone to pick with this in general. With things like ayahuasca, especially, I'm not a huge fan, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the way that it is administered, in the quantity, in the frequency as well. It is so easy to program a human brain. And the way that we do this is through sleep deprivation, through a mind-altering substance, and then through persuasion. Very, very easy to do in that state, especially energetically and spiritually. I've heard so many stories, 27, of people being essentially energetically raped in that state. Because every shaman is not a light shaman. And anybody can call themselves whatever they want to. I'm just saying, y'all, be intelligent. You're receiving the truth. Listen to it. And I'm not saying every situation is the same, but for the most part, I feel like it's become pretty bastardized. Okay? I'll get off my soapbox. So, your challenge at this time. What is challenging? 4 of Cups. We're distracted. Like I said, you're receiving truth, you guys. We're being asked to be present here so that we can see what is being offered in that single cup. Pessimism, being tired, laziness, being too focused on any one thing. We're being asked to kind of bring our scope back. There was a time where it was important to see what is close up, and we're not stopping that. But I feel like we're being asked to broaden our scope here a little bit and see the bigger picture. There is no panacea. Whether we're talking about plant medicine, Western medicine, New Age spirituality, Old Age spirituality, whatever, there is not one answer for everything, except for maybe that truth. That the only constant in life is change, and that there is more than one truth for everything. I feel like you're being asked to open your eyes to this, especially with all of the zodiac components in front of your face here with the Empress. To see the truth in everything and to allow it to go with that flow. This is what ushers in peace. This is the offer of peace. Got it. Okay, well, what else on this then, please? 9 of Pentacles, too. Healthy autonomy is what's coming through here, guys. Healthy interdependence and independence. Calm and collected mind. Like I was saying, I don't mean to and I really haven't talked about that a lot, but it is a huge pet peeve of mine. Everything goes in waves as far as popularity goes. If something works for somebody, that's fantastic. But there are also situations where you can break your brain, and it happens all the time. And spiritual psychosis is very real. And it is something that I actually do talk very passionately about. We have got to be our own defender here in this way. It is so easy to manipulate a human brain. So easy. It happens all of the time. And I'm going to encourage here always, wake up. Wake up to your own intelligence and wake up to your own power. That's what's happening here right now. You are a diamond in the rough. Quit putting yourself into positions where people want to cut you to make you prettier, because you're so much more powerful in your raw state. Oof. Ooh, all the chills on that. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Let's pull an animal card here too for your challenge. For Capricorn, the lion, nightingale here at the bottom too. Your truth, you guys. Speaking it even to yourself first, and if somebody else needs to hear it, great. Share it. The lion here, this is taking action and taking rest, knowing when to take action, knowing when to rest. If you are living your life, especially here like on YouTube, this is my job, right? Doing tarot readings, spiritual guidance, that sort of thing. And I love doing what I do. My foundation, though, is to help you recognize, realize, and remember your power and your sovereignty. We didn't come here to follow everybody else. We didn't come here to, go off on our own completely either. We're meant to be connected. But we're not here to be a part of a cult. Okay? Please be cautious of that. That's really what I'm trying to say. We are in an age where Neptune, now moving into Aries, or having moved into Aries, we're going to see rises of cults, you guys. So pay attention. And I feel like, to be honest, so plant medicine is a huge issue in that regard as far as programming goes. Just be intelligent. But AI as well is something that I've noticed has become a part of the spiritual psychosis issue. People are working with AI, and because AI reflects back to us what we want to hear and is programmed to be supportive, it ends up acting as if it is a deity or a portal into some spiritual realm. I've even heard of some people that have created programs that they're passing off to people as a way to specifically speak to angels. I'm just saying, y'all, please be cautious. Technology throughout all of human history has appeared to be godlike because it can be so magical. Just because we don't know how something works doesn't mean that it is mystical. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm going to pull a medicine heart here to close out this message, Capricorn. Last message here for Capricorn, please. I just feel you are seeing the truth. Like I said, you're seeing the path that you need to take, and it is not one where you're following everybody else. Think for yourself. There's an octopus imagery on the front here too. Back to boundaries here, you guys. Be cautious about your boundaries. Dragon's Gate. Your effort shall bear bountiful fruit even beyond your expectations. Rest when needed, but refuse to turn away from your goal. The lion here. Acknowledge how far you have come and affirm your confidence and capability to progress further. You shall cross a significant spiritual threshold, overcome long-term obstacles, and experience irreversible liberation. What your heart seeks is within reach. Do not give up. And don't take shortcuts either. It's okay if things are uncomfortable. Not everything has a solution. Sometimes we're meant to just experience, okay, you guys? I love you, and I hope this message is helpful. I do have personal readings open currently. I will be taking a break on them here soon, probably in the next month. So if you want to get in there, check that out now. I do have a personal mentorship program available too. Feel free to apply if you're interested. I do not work with everybody. That is by my choice, and we can discuss that if you're interested. Links are in the description of the video as well as pinned comment. I have PayPal in there as well as accepting super thanks here on YouTube for donations. Thank you guys so much to those who do support the channel in that way. Couldn't and wouldn't do it without you. So please take care of yourselves, Capricorn, and I will see you all very soon. Be well.